Hello, I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking for FinextraTV, and I'm joined by Gabriela Giannattasio of Veritran. We're chatting about innovation, competition, and regulation. Gabriela, welcome.
Thank you, Debbie. Happy to be here.
Good to have you. I made that list of innovation, competition, and regulation. Let's focus on the first two. How can technology act as a catalyst to make banks even more competitive in the marketplace?
Great. I think technology is the key here. We are moving from an analog physical world to a digital world. In the case of banks, it's also the same. It's a mistake to try to put a complete traditional bank with all their products, try to fit it in a digital channel. So that is one of the first challenges, and technology is there to help. We were discussing the other day a funny word, which is financial polyamory, that I heard, and I found it interesting because it's true. People no longer marry a bank and stick to it for all their lives, but they have different relationships with different fintechs and banks depending on the action they want to perform. For example, if they want to ask for a loan, probably they won't use the same bank or platform as if they want to make a cross-border payment. So this leads to more competition and comparisons. We say that users compare experiences, no longer brands. So it's important here to understand that banks are competing with other banks, with neobanks that were born digital, also with fintechs that usually are monoproducts and they're very good at what they do. And last but not least, there are also retailers or corporates that want to offer, they have a strong customer database, so they want to offer financial services to them directly and not through a bank. So all this competition is what it's important, I mean, for banks to be prepared, to be ready, and to be up to date every day. So here, having a technology partner can help them to put a middle layer, even for traditional banks who usually have a very complex legacy system, some core banking or back-end problems. So here we can, through a technology company or working together and partnering, add a middle layer that can orchestrate all those services, and to the eye of the user, they can see an amazing experience without knowing what's behind on the back, right?
Thank you. And you touch on that user experience.
Yes.
So let's also now look at regulation, because how do banks streamline user experience, enhance seamless payment systems, all the while making sure that they are secure and at the same time simultaneously ensuring that they comply with upcoming regulations? Is there a silver bullet solution?
Yes, there is. Again, I think collaboration is the key. Here what happens, as we said before, is that users, they compare experiences. So you have to offer the good experience, but there's something that we call the good friction, and it's the trade-off or the balance we need to find between offering a seamless experience to the user, but at the same time we need to be compliant with regulations and security. So we need to find the balance. The balance here, again, is technology. For example, I can imagine the user that doesn't want to remember the password, and so there you can offer a biometric solution so that they can access or make payments with their biometrics. We use, for example, a 3D biometric that takes into consideration the bright of the eyes, the tone of the skin, so they make sure that it's not a fake positive. So that combined, for example, in the case of payments for the two-factor authentications, you can combine biometrics with tokenization, which is replacing the 16 digits of a card, for example, the sensitive information for a token that can be used only in that transaction. So with this, the combination of biometrics and tokenization, you are compliant with the two-factor authentication, and at the same time you're offering a seamless or a frictionless experience to the user. So again, I think that here technology is the key.
Thank you, Gabriela. So much wonderful technology. And of course, we always have regulation. So when it comes to upcoming regulations, which ones to you stand out? And what should banks be doing now to prepare for them?
As we mentioned before, the world is becoming every day more digital. So we are more dependent on technology. And at the same time, we are more vulnerable to technology. So here what we have to do is to work on regulations and on technology that can allow us and prevent fraud and everything that has to do with the risks that come with technology. We were saying the other day that the crime has been reduced, the robberies on the streets, but it's not there anymore. It's now on the internet or on the networks. So we have to work very strongly on that. For example, I can think of DORA. As we said, we're more vulnerable to technology and more dependent on it, so we need measures to secure and to prevent risk and to have cyber resilience. So DORA is one of the regulations that we need to take into consideration. At the same time, the instant payments regulations is very important. Now, all the companies, I mean, it goes for users and for companies. 99% of the European companies are SMEs. So every day we live in a more global world with e-commerce, with digital payments. So companies and people, users, they want their money now. So when they are performing a transaction, they don't want to wait. So these instant payment regulations has been evolving from SEPA regulation, and now what's more important here is that users can have their money as soon as possible. There's more traceability, there's more visibility, it's more cost effective. At the same time, there are some specific topics, like for example, that you have to pre-validate that the user and the account are matching. So all that has been included in the instant payment regulations. And here I would like to mention we have been, as Veritran, one of the few companies worldwide chosen by SWIFT. So we are launching very soon a solution for instant cross-border payments that can also assure all this compliance with regulation. And at the same time, last but not least, I can think of ISO 20022. Imagine I'm in one country, you're in another one, and I'm sending you money, and for me, I'm sending it like the 1st of February, but you understand it's the 2nd of January, so we need to make a standard way of understanding worldwide what the messaging we are sending. So this is a standardization of financial messaging, and I think it's also very important. So with this few that I mentioned, I think we need to work again, as I said, together to collaborate and to work together. Banks, regulators, and financial company, and technological companies. We need to work together to offer a more secure environment and to offer a great UX for everyone. So let's upgrade the future together, as we say.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. It's been such an interesting conversation because we were talking about innovation, competition, and regulation, and it does seem to be this circle, doesn't it, all coming together. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, Debbie. The same here.